Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Today, I am back to talk about one of the most important innovations in the crypto community, yet so underrated. I'm talking about a Web3 based token. Now, this is the third most important innovation after Bitcoin and Ethereum. I am talking about Internet Computer Token. Of course, what is Internet Computer? See, Internet Computer is the fastest and only infinitely scalable general purpose blockchain. Now, if you don't know what this means, scalability is being ability to expand your services and accept more people and grow easily as your business grow. So the problem with Ethereum, if you all know, is gas fee, right? Most of which, as more people transactions are going on Ethereum, the more the fee goes up. So scalability is very tough for those who have built on top of Ethereum. And not just that, this is beating Ethereum because this is dealing with Web 3. Now, if you don't know, Web 2 is what we're still currently operating. Very soon, we are going to say bye-bye to Web 2 and it is going to be all about Web 3. Now, if you don't know, Web 3 is the is dealing with access to NFTs, social media, metaverse, advanced technology, 5Gs, and a lot of things, faster internet, faster interability, faster sociability, and a lot of things are changing with Web3. And one of the innovations that is taking Web3, holding it by the horn and dragging it is this token called Internet Computer, right? But the thing about this token is it is still as cheap as anything you would think of. In fact, it is so underrated because since the listing of the token around May, because this token is so new, this is just launched around May 2021, but since the launching till now, all Internet Computer token has seen is a down, springle down. It just keeps getting cheaper. From above $400, it is now trading around $21. This is very cheap. Is it still cheap enough for you to invest? Well, you're going to make that decision yourself. Remember, I am Bitcoin Gorilla. Welcome to Altcoin Daily. In this analysis, we are going to look at the fundamental and a little bit understand how these services and what kind of apps has been built on this platform, how far they have gone so far, because it's actually managed by the Infinity team, right? So the good thing is, after we're done with this, we're going to take a brief moment to look at the market statistics, just few minutes. Now after this, I'm going to now break down the price on multiple time frame. I'm going to start with the monthly chart, the weekly chart, the daily chart, and the 4 hours chart. We are going to work on a multi-time frame, reviewing the price and then concluding that this is what is likely going to happen next. Like the thumbnail says, are we going to see $80 soon on ICP? At least we need a move. The down move has been quite a long time because after the down move, we are stuck on a sideways market. So let's start by understanding a little bit of statistics of this token. Now, if you want to see the statistics of what is going on live on the ICP Explorer, you can visit the icpexplorer.org, right, to see the statistics. You can see the it's here. There's the market cap, the fully diluted market cap, total supply, circulatory supplies, total amount of ICP that has been staked, total voting power, everything you need is live and you can just look at it. Now, just the most important thing I notice about this is the smart contracts that are just growing. In fact, like I said, they launched this in May 2021, but did you see the rise in smart contract that has been built on top of this blockchain? Remember, Web3, it's linked directly to Web3. So what do they offer? Now, Internet Computer is aimed to become the world computer, hosting Web3 apps, DeFi's, games, NFTs, social media, and metaverse used by billions of users. You see, it represents the third major blockchain innovation, like I told you, alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, the thing about them is their dedication, the foundation behind the team behind the project, not the foundation behind it. Yeah, it's also part of it, right? The team behind what? The project. The team really makes the project quite very interesting. And if you really want to know more about them, you can visit the website. I'm not going to spend much talking about the team. I'm just giving you this brief overview if this is your first time about hearing this coin, because a lot of people just go and jump in and just buy any coin. They don't even understand what the coin does, and most time it end up being shit coin because it doesn't have a real life value. Now your coin gets even more expensive when you have a good services that it's offering. You can see build out web3 on the internet computer, an amazing foundation, like I said. And then these are example of the current apps and teams that are working on top. Now all these apps are already built on top of the platform, on top of the blockchain. Oh, don't mind my tongue. All right, so this is the website, market statistics. You can find it on CoinMarketCap. You can see the total supply on the Explorer. You can visit this website and see them. But me, I'm here for the price. So please, let's just jump into this price and know what is going to happen next. Let's start by getting the first skeleton and just drawing the chart. So I'm going to be drawing this chart with simple price action, no indicators. So I'm going to start by bringing my horizontal line, and I bring in here another one here. So I'm going to try to zoom in because the data is it's like they haven't moved. I talked about this sideways, and patience is needed. You know, one thing about sideways is accumulation. Sideways is a sign that something is happening. There is exchange of money in the market, but price has not really taken any good direction. So this is what I am saying here, right? Obviously those lines are a lot I want to take, but I can still work with them. Let me take this out. Right, this is much better. Okay, now that I've gotten this, I'm going to bring in the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy because it's going to help me make sense of what is going on here. If you don't know, I developed the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy. If you want to learn more about it, you visit the link on the scrolling the top of the video. Visit the website and you can join Makaveli traders and you can learn more about the link and become a member of the family. But access is currently closed. I don't take student all year. I only take student 3 times a year, and it's not even like taking student because they are not just my student. I am growing with them. It's a lifetime access. You become part of the family and we grow together. I am constantly learning and growing. So what I teach you today, by the time you come back to me tomorrow, I would have grown like 2 or 3 times, if not 5 times than that yesterday, because I'm constantly growing. I believe this market to succeed, you have to constantly keep learning. Learning never stops, right? So I developed this strategy using simple concept of price action. So I've drawn the chart, I've gotten the support, I've gotten the resistance, the buyers and sellers. Now for buyers, this is their range, right? They are always around this range, right? Though I'm not done, sellers are always around this range. Now for the weekly chart, this is the support, very slim area, and this is the resistance, right? So I am going to go ahead and zoom in the chart and finish up. So I see that price somehow is stuck in this range, so I'm going to go ahead and also draw the chart. Now I'm drawing this chart on weekly chart, but when I want to do the analysis, it's going to be multiple time frame, so you can actually skip to where the analysis start. And in the analysis that I'm going to do, okay, let me get this. In the analysis that I'm going to do, I'm going to use what I draw on the weekly chart to make sense of what is going on the other time frame. Like I said, it's going to be multiple time frame, but I don't need to draw my chart over and over and over again. No, I don't need multiple lines or anything. I just need to draw it once, and that's the beautiful thing about the Bitcoin Gorilla box. It's about getting it right. You have to get it right. If you don't get it right, you will miss the the point. So I'm trying to make sure I get the right point, the right area. So in this situation, we're treating support and resistance as an area. Probably I should. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what the chart looks like when I zoom out, right? This is what it looks like, but I need to zoom in to to make a better sense of it. So I noticed that there's been a little sellers line. Like I see these sellers from this point. I want to start it from this point inside the box to this point. They tend to be consistent in hitting the line, and of course I need just maximum of 3 hits, and this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, right? So the most important thing is that the bulls has actually come outside the line, because the goal is that the sellers are trying to keep them below this line, but somehow they have magically made it above it. Not magically, of course, there was a little sideways that took place from January all the way to where we are now, April, right? So we around March 22 or so, or 14 or so, March 14, we had a move that broke that seller's line. So take note of that, right? So that is the drawing. So now I'm going to start the main analysis. I'm going to start the analysis from the higher time frame down. So let's pay respect to where respect is due. So let's start with the big boys, the big whales. They say if you can't beat them, you join them. So we're going to start with the monthly chart, and my monthly chart, I like basing it on just candlesticks. Then I can use the weekly to compare and contrast to what I have seen on the monthly chart. So analysis on the monthly, we're going to use simple candlesticks, no drawing, no story. We're just going to try to make sense of what these candles are saying. So from this chart, I see that something is going on. There's a pause, right? Before now, we see this magical dump. In fact, the whole entire month that this coin was listed, May, was a big red down move, followed by the second month, sell-off started reducing. The pressure of the sell-off was calming down for a while. So we're going to zoom in and see what happens, right? Now here we have a 2-bar reversal, which looks like a bullish engulfing, right? So these 2 bars, these two candles, this red, the hammer, and the green, right? So these two combined together, I will tell you, it's 2-bar reversal. It shows there was a sign of bullishness, but this hammer is also on support, so it shows us there was a sign of support. But if the support could be, so I could just I said no drawing, right? So I'm just going to zoom in. So you see that I just want to pick a line and show you something. If I place this line here, there was a clear support that was pierced by these 2 candles, right? By these 2 wicks, they pierced through, because it magically didn't pierce through all this. They were holding it. So somehow a support exists at that point. So on this support, we have these 2 guys, right? This red and this green, a bullish reversal. But the sell-off, now this is why I first talked about the big candle first before talking about these smaller ones. The sell-off was too strong, followed by another strong full body candle. It's too strong to reverse this trend with just these 2 guys. They did try, but yeah, because they were able to make it a push to the upside, but it's too strong to reverse a strong sell that dropped this bad. Volume is also very important. Now, with this being said, the sell-off continued, but now it is not as strong as it was in the first 2 months. So that's a good sign, right? So the sellers are beginning to reduce. This is a doji. This is an inverted hammer on support. This is break of support. So this candle that broke the support was a full body grown candle. So I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to zoom in. So you see that candle? This is monthly chart. Full body grown candle. Beautiful. But the next candle after it, remember, the sell-off has stopped around this, has stopped. It has reduced, because I can't use that word stop, because of course it's still going on. That's why they're still going down. But it has drastically reduced, which is a good thing, right? Because from this candle, we have an inverted hammer start building something like a support. So the next two candles after the inverted hammer has been clearly still no assurance or good strength from the bulls, but they have at least reduced the sell-off that is coming from the bears. So what this is telling us right now is there is a support, because anytime the sell-off has stopped and the bulls are trying their best to hold it off, the hold off is working till now. So there is a support. How strong is this support? Are we going to dive deeper down, or are we going to go back up? This is a very important question on the monthly, because it cannot be answered right now. Why? Because these two candles are dojis, and I can't just make up anything and tell you that because I want it to go up, I'll tell you it's going to go up. I'm a very honest analyst, and I will tell you what I see. What you make up with it is up to you. I always tell my last analysis, if you watch it, I say you need patience. And since that analysis till now, market has been on a sideways. That's why I told you to go and stake your coin. You can stake your ICP if you've been holding for a long time. If you've not buy, I think it's at a good range to start buying small. I like buying as price goes, right? Because it's at a good support. I don't see much sell-off still coming, especially the way they've been holding up. But this question will be answered. When are we going to see a pump? Will be answered on when we start dealing with the weekly chart. So this will take us to the weekly chart. Let's go to the weekly chart now. Back to our drawing. So this is the weekly chart. What are we expecting based on this chart? Now, like I said, I am very impressed that they have, at least on the weekly chart, managed to leave this seller's line and make it above it. Good. And the breakout candle is quite impressive. Now, I like seeing if there's a breakout candle, I want to see that the breakout candle is full body grown candle, like a full grown candle. And this one is not quite disappointing. Obviously, I am very impressed. I am very impressed. I need to move this a little. So let me take that back. So if you look closely here, this candle, there was a sideways, but this breakout, this candle that broke out. Now this candle broke two things. It broke both the seller, because after they tried to manage to make two inverted hammers. So if I zoom in, you're going to say it is two inverted hammers. I'm going to zoom in now. So they make these two beautiful inverted hammers on the support. Beautiful. Followed by a confirmation of these two, right? This is the kind of result I want to see on the monthly, right? I want to see a follow through. Now, I will tell you this. I do see a pump in this period of the spring. I don't know what time spring is going to be in your area, but I do see April, May, June, this few months, likely going to be a month where the bulls are going to get enough, at least some certain recovery, and we could see that $80 that I'm talking about. But let's dive deeper. So I like this breakout. I like this confirmation. Can they continue staying above it? This brings me into looking further deep, right? So now we can take this whole entire drawing, entire thing to daily chart. I am not going to draw a new chart, but if need be, I could use the trend line when needed. But you can see the chart. We drew this chart on the weekly chart, and this is what it looks like on the daily chart. So like I said, this is my bias line, my bias area, let me call it an area of the biggest first box that I drew, and this is the seller's area. And my box strategy says whatever starts from the bottom is heading to the top. So this box strategy you might think is over exaggerating, but it's telling me that get ready when they leave the bottom of this box. On the weekly chart, we could be heading for the top of the box, but it's not going to be an easy run. Why? Because also I have yet another box. Like I drew the second box, this range is yet another box. So this box has also its own support, buy range, and resistance, sell range. Now I always believe anything you buy in the middle of the box is a disaster, because there's always a struggle because of something I call the control line. The control line is a point where there is more of exchange between buyers and sellers. So there's a drag that is sideways. It causes a lot of sideways. It causes them whenever price is above the control line, price is always fighting to keep above it. Whenever it's below it, price is always trying to keep below it, and all of that. So in our situation, we see price really dragging. You can see the control line. So this line at the middle of this white line is the control line. So you see the reaction. So here's what I see them doing. Here's the first thing I see them doing. They have to first break out of this support range, because anything about support range is that you will see sideways market. If price leaves it, price will always come back to confirm that it is strong enough, right, to hold them. So you see this sideways accumulation. Support is a point where buyers come more into the market because they believe that price is fair enough for them to buy. So at the price where price is currently is a point where money is constantly entering the market. But you will say, but price is not moving, it's a shit coin. Well, what you don't understand is accumulation, price life cycle. We have accumulation period, we have markup or uptrend, we have distribution period, and we have the markdown or downtrend. You have to understand this simple strategy, because if you do, then you understand that where price is going through this first stage. So the first stage is money entering the market on a consistent base. Now, if you look at this entire market, price has been falling, but price has not gotten the opportunity to stay this way for this long. Even though it tried here, there was still movement, strong movement, but here it is not longer even moving. It's like they are stuck in the particular range. So let me zoom in so you're going to see what I'm saying. So it's a strong accumulation. It's like they are stuck between $23 and probably $16. Between that range, they are stuck within that range. I think they even had a piercing of around 14.85. So this accumulation of price is like pressing something down, put an airtight container, and then sitting on top of it, and you keep pressing it. At some point, the air wants to escape. Money is entering this token. At some point, it will find price will escape this sideways. It's like something is compressing the price, and by the time they exhaust all the sellers, if we know something about accumulation phase 1, it comes after a downtrend, and obviously price has been on a clear long-term downtrend. It's a clear down market. So should I call this a bottom? I don't like calling tops, I don't like calling bottom, but I'll tell you it looks like a bottom. Yes, I know it looks like a bottom, but anything can change. But the chances are high now, over 75%, that the buyers, the bulls, are actually taking control of ICP's token on the higher time frame, like the weekly, the monthly, and this is the daily chart, confirming the sideways of money entering the market. Now the question is, are we going to go up? Now here is what you need to know. If we're going to go up, we need to break this. So if I am to trade this, I will tell you that I will still go ahead on the 4 hours chart, on the 4 hours chart, before I do that, I think I should give you the target that I see on the daily chart, right? So the target on the daily chart, remember the first target I gave you is going to take a while to play out. You have to give it entire of spring, give it time to play out, because they first need to break out of this point. And of course, it was monthly and weekly chart. It takes a while to break. Monthly chart is analysis for those who want to hold a minimum of 6 months to a year. Weekly chart, 6 months, 3 months, and all of that. Daily chart, months, and weeks and all of that. Now on the daily chart where we are, here's what I see, right? I do see price. You can see price is going to make it up to this point. We're going to see $38, $40 again, because now they will try to leave this support. They have actually accumulated it and they are back at it. So very soon ICPC is going to move, price is going to move up. But first of all, when they get to $30 range, there's going to be a reaction. Why? Whenever I say a reaction, people don't like it. It's boring for it to keep going up and down, up and down, but it's a simple life cycle. It's how it moves. Buyers and sellers must interact. Without sellers, they can't be buyers. Without buyers, they can't be sellers. It's just like when price is going down. Without these buyers, price will keep going down, seeking for more buyers for it to go up. And when it goes up, it's looking for more sellers for it to go down, right? So you see this struggle, we are going to face it again. So understand that pullbacks are normal. Retest is normal. When we get to this point and hit the inside box, because this is like a box inside a bigger box, right? The inside box is good. Sellers are there because in the past it was a resistance. You can see it here, and you can see it here. It's a support. Let me zoom that in. You can see it is support in the past. They are waiting. Every broken support becomes automatically a resistance, and every broken resistance becomes a support. You must know that support and resistance break. This is why you need to add your support and resistance to market structure, to candlesticks, and put everything together to make good analysis and have a better decision than these indicators out here. If you don't know, indicators are constantly lagging. I don't care what you say, indicators lag because they are being calculated with these same candlesticks. First, the candlesticks need to form, but you as a person can use your perception to forecast what is coming. So according to this, we're going to get this $30, $20 first. We get to that $20. If they don't stop at $20, they could get to $30 range. Now, not $28, sorry. Then they could get to $30. But once they would just certainly just get to this box. I don't know how far they will go in because I don't know how much capital has been in this, because they've been in this position since January. It's over 3 months. They are consolidating. So their breakout is likely going to go further. It could even just go straight to that $40. I do not know, depending on the amount of token the amount of capital that has been inside. But I tell you, it will keep going until it exhausts all the capital that has been accumulated. So this will break out. So break out of this point is the first thing we're going to get on the daily chart. Let me take all this out. We're going to get a breakout of this point. You can see they tried, they failed. They tried, they failed. They managed, came back, now they are trying again. They are likely this time around going to get above it. And if they get above it, I do see them heading to this point, right? And getting a reaction. Now, depending on the strength, they could just pull back a little and enter inside, right? So when they enter inside, depending on the strength, like I said, their target is here. Their target is just to get to this at minimum of $28 first. Once they get to it, they move. I do see a retest, so they could come back to make sure this point. So depending wherever they get them stopped, either at this point $30 or $28, they could come back to make sure that this previous support is now that this previous resistance, because this is a resistance, but the entire area is support. But the tip of the support, you have to break above the tip of the support to enter inside the box. So now they are about to enter inside the box. Once they enter, they will come and retest the box, stand on top of the box to get the strength. Standing on top of the box, a little accumulation will go on, and then a little accumulation. That's a little sideways. A little patience is needed for all of this. In fact, from the time frame, this could get to end April ending or so. So they will go sideways and then move. This could happen faster depending on the money, like I said, that is here. They could just move straight. But I'm saying price action normally, bulls want to keep their footprints behind by printing higher lows. So if I zoom in, they are already printing that higher lows and higher highs. So we see that the bull market structure, of course, higher highs and higher lows, just very simple. Now you see that this is the last high, right? And by the time they got here, there's a new high. So before then, there's still mini highs and mini lows, but we have a new high and a new low. High, so they are likely going to attack this point, right? Like I said, they could pull back and then they will have the strength. When they pull back a little sideways, like they did here, a little sideways, that kind of thing, will come back a little sideways and then they move. Now, when they move, like I said, they will enter up. They could get to $38 or so. I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but it's good to take note, because when it's happening, you don't just lose your mind and say, this coin, I'm giving up. It could be when you're giving up, things will just really start moving. When will things move easier? Things will move easier when they enter this point, because by the time they get above it, they could do it like this and get above it. This is going to be a smooth ride, a more smooth ride to this point, to $59, right? So once they get to that $59 or so, $60 range, beautiful, they are going to get kicked back down. I know you don't want to hear that. They are going to get kicked back down. A deeper push down. A deeper push down that could take them back to at least that $8, $40, $42. If I just hope they don't go in deeper than that, $34 or so. They will now move again, get a little pushback, and they will move here. Why do I say that? Did you see in the past how it happened? Even if I zoom out, even when they are trying to go up, you can see how they got pulled back and again they try to make it above. So they are going to struggle with my control line. So this is a control line. It controls price, which means the sellers will do everything to keep them below it. But if they are already inside my box, the strategy say they will make it to the top of the box. They will make it to $74, probably around May or so. All right, I don't want to give you date. I don't like giving date. I'm making this forecast. I don't like giving date because I really don't know how long it will take them to conquer through this sideways, because sideways don't break easily. The longer the sideways, just know that the stronger the move when it breaks out. So if this sideways continues, for when the breakout happens, it's going to be sharper than I'm explaining, depending, because it means money has constantly been entering the market. But this is going to happen sooner than you think. That's why I'm saying spring. So this is like buy and hold. Start buying is a good point of buy, but remember, this is no financial advice. So like I said, this is where we could get our $80 click, right? But instantly I do expect them getting pushed back down. I know you don't want to see this, but it's going to happen. The inside of my box is a very delicate point where the bulls and bears are struggling. You can see they will move and they will return. So they could get to this point. They could even make it above $80, depending, because they are returning from the control line is to get the strength to break it and head up. So if the strength, because there will be some sort of accumulation after they return from the control line, there will be some sort of accumulation. This could be ending of May or so. Ending of May could get them the pullback or so. So there could be some sort of accumulation, and before they try again and they move up, right? So when they move up, they are likely going to get that $80. That's the storyline on the daily chart. But how about a little brief of the 4 hours chart? After that, I'll give you one last recap of what the bigger box is. Like I said, I told you the bigger box is the one with the strong target. The bigger box says everything that starts from the bottom is heading to the top, and that is the weekly box. And the monthly box works. You can see by the time they get above this box here, it's going to be a serial warara clear journey. Like they are going to move straight up to this point. So if you miss buying around this current $21, $22, it's going to miss once it gets above that $90 is going to be a real run, though they could just get to around $100, 102, and then come back for a retest of that box before they move up. But that's, like I said, that's monthly and weekly forecast right there. So that's going to need a lot of patience, because this inner box, the baby box, is going to give them some headache before they make it outside of it. That is because of what they experience when they are going down. They are going to experience a little of that when they are going up. So the 4 hours, a little brief overview for intraday traders on 4 hours. What do I see happening in the next, let's see, next few days or so? Like, yeah, so I'm going to try to take this a little deep. Okay, so I'm going to try to move this down so that I can get a drawing and you will see it. That's why I had to move that. I didn't need to move it, but I wanted to make something. So I'm only interested in all this here. That's why I pushed it up. I'm only interested in this. Don't worry, it's enough candle. I literally have to zoom in for you to see. I'm only interested in what is going here. I want to make a note of what they are planning, right? So I'm going to get my box. Okay, so here's what is happening. I can get a control line right there. Right. To get it right here. So I see that these bulls could return, but how far could they return? So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4. And when I see countless hits like that, and I can only see 1 and 2, it only tells me that they are putting pressure on the seller's area. So this area is on pressure. So at worst case scenario, they will push them to this point, they will land here and they will attack again. But that is if the bulls, the bears are really strong enough, because I see the pressure is growing over time. Because obviously if I zoom more in, I see there's something going on right here. I'm already seeing 1, 2 and 3 touches, right? So like I said, they could push them down to get to my control line and then they will attack. And this time around, if they return, they're going to make it above this point. That's that $24. But that is, they could return to this point. Like I said, if they get back in above 22, if they make it above 22,300, it is going to be a straight breakout. It means there is not enough sellers in this point. Price has to leave, right? So currently what we're seeing now is that if I draw the box is telling me that price could return to this point before moving up, right? We could see that push back down before we move up. But again, let's draw the trend line to see if we can get a channel. So the target of my box is, once they leave this box, like I said, this is the target, the next box range, right? So from the current $21, they could get to $28 once they're able to get above it. The pressure is growing. I like this pressure that is going on, but like I said, there could be a swing down. Why would they get that swing down? They will get that swing down because they want to kick out. You can see, let's I know why I'm saying let's draw the channel. It's going to help us make a better sense of why they'll get that push down. So this is the channel, right? 2 touches, right? Obviously we have, let me zoom more in so that you're going to see that. So we have 2 touches on the channel. We already have 1 here and 2 here, and we also have 1 here and 2 here. You see there's something missing here. they could make it down. Now let's even exaggerate this and go further deeper into analyzing this by bringing a control line to the channel. I like using control line a lot. It just shows me where the power is, right? So this is the control line for the channel that I just drew, and they are below it, which means sellers will do everything to keep them below it. So sellers' plan could be to take them down to this point. So that $20 to 19.97 range, or $19 maximum, they get to this my control line. It's possible and it's likely coming, right? So they could get above and they get rejected and they go up, but this will only give them the strength to break now above this line. So obviously there is a strong buy pressure that is leaving this gap here, and soon they will cover it up here. There's no gap in Binance trading, so this is not the same gap you hear everybody talking about. This is not the same, so don't judge it. It's just me trying to tell you the pressure is high, because you can see them trying to just hold below this control line, and very soon their goal is to go. You can see what happened here. When they stayed very attached to the control line, they have to pull back a little before attacking up, and they broke below it. That's what I'm saying coming here. So they are very attached to the control line. They could pull back a little more and they will make it above it. So that's when we could see price. Once they make it above it, like I said, expect $28. This is my overview of what price is going to do. Remember, the decision remains yours to make. What you do is up to you. Do more research. I remain Bitcoin Gorilla, and if you've enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to give me a thumbs up to encourage me make more analysis like this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any coin you want me to work on, just leave it in the comment section, because my analysis are deep time frame analysis videos you can watch in the future to see, is it playing according to what she says it's going to play. Is up to you to make that decision yourself. Remember, I remain Bitcoin Gorilla. Happy trading.